This is the Gazelle Tents T4 Plus Hub Tent Overland Edition. My first thought pulling it out of the bag was how long and hefty it is. The bag runs about 63 to 64 inches, and the whole kit is around 60 pounds, so it's a true vehicle-based base camp shelter. My curiosity was simple. Can it really go from bag to standing room shelter in under 2 minutes? And will it hold up to backroad travel and mixed weather? Short answer. The main body pops fast and feels solid. The details around wind, rainfly, and transport matter more than you'd expect. The look is rugged and purposeful. The Alpine Green oak moss color blends nicely into forests and doesn't scream for attention. The geometry is boxy in a good way, with near vertical walls that give it a portable cabin vibe rather than a saggy dome. Standing height is 78 inches, and because of the hub design, that headroom is useful across most of the interior, not just the middle. I'm 6 feet, and I can move around, bend, and work in the corners without crouching. Inside, the Plus layout is the hook, a main sleeping room and a front screen room that zips into a private space when needed. 5 big mesh windows and a mesh roof keep it bright and airy, and when the rain fly is off, it's a great stargazing setup without bugs getting in. The shell fabric is a 210 denier Oxford polyester, so it feels stout and more canvas-like than typical thin nylon. The 300 denier Oxford floor is the real confidence booster, grippy underfoot, and thick enough that cots, dog nails, and sandy gear don't feel risky. Zippers feel deliberately beefy. They need a firm pull, which I prefer for longevity. The hubs pop with a satisfying thunk when they lock. There's a little resistance, and then it's set. Transport is the first real-world hurdle. That 63 to 64-inch bag won't fit sideways in most SUVs, so I either fold seats or go roof rack. On the roof, the bag is water-resistant, but not truly waterproof. Rain can work in through the zipper and pool at the bottom. From my experience, wrapping the bag in a tarp or stashing it in a hard case avoids a soggy tent on arrival. Setup is where it wins people over. I can pop the 4 walls and roof hub in under 2 minutes. That part is real. The longer part is the rainfly and guy lines. Because the tent is tall, I usually stand on a cooler or the door sill of the truck to toss the fly over. Clipping it down and staking guy lines adds a few extra minutes, but it's worth it for wind. The all-terrain stakes are a smart upgrade. They bite into hard ground better than thin wire stakes, and I've had fewer bendouts in rocky soil. Wind is the trade-off with those vertical walls. In gusts above 40 to 50 miles per hour, the panels can sail and a hub can pop inward. Aggressive guying and staking is mandatory in open, windy sites. I pick campsites with a windbreak when I can, use every guy line, and keep the fly tight. In driving rain, the waterproofing has been solid overall. The shell is rated to 2,000 millimeters, and with the fly on, I've stayed dry. My personal tweak was dabbing seam sealer on a couple of stress points, around hubs and attachment loops, just to bulletproof it for heavy, long storms. Condensation management is excellent. Big vents, mesh roof, and cross breeze mean I wake up dry inside even on cool nights with people and pets breathing. The screen room is my favorite quality of life feature. It's where muddy boots come off and wet jackets hang. For dog owners, it's perfect. No ladders, no lifting. My dog sleeps there, and my sleeping room stays clean and organized. As a heads up, the screen room isn't as sealed as the main room. In sideways rain, you need to button up the storm panels carefully. Also, the removable bathtub floor attaches with Velcro and zippers. It's awesome for cleanup. I've hosed it off after muddy trips, but you do have to take your time aligning it or you'll leave gaps where bugs can sneak in. Takedown is quick, but stuffing the tent back into the bag takes a bit of technique. The fabric traps air, so I kneel or bear hug the bundle to squeeze out air before sliding it into the duffel. I wish the bag opened clamshell style instead of a big bucket. It would make solo packing smoother. On durability, the fabrics and YKK zips have held up well for me. One place to be gentle. Don't force the hubs or try to open the tent if a corner is pinned by a tight stake. The little metal tips can bend if you muscle it the wrong way. Treat the mechanism with respect and it pays you back. Key features that keep me coming back are simple. The speed to pitch the main structure saves me when I pull into camp late or under a rain cloud. The livable space is huge for a ground tent, 94 by 165 inches overall, true standing height, and enough volume that 4 people plus gear feels comfortable. The convertible screen room changes how I live at camp. It's a lounge, a gear locker, a dog bedroom, and a buffer between dirt and my sleeping bag. The included 300 denier footprint is actually useful, not an afterthought. It protects the removable floor and lets me be less picky about ground conditions. Ventilation is top tier. Big windows, mesh roof, and good fly spacing mean less stuffiness in heat and less condensation in cold. In my opinion, the materials and hardware hit a sweet spot for overland use. The 210D shell with UV 50+ treatment handles sun better than cheaper fabrics, and the heavy 300D floor feels bomb-proof for normal abuse. From my experience, this is the rare instant tent that doesn't feel disposable. It's perfect for vehicle campers who want a base camp they can stand up in, with room to live, cook, and stash gear inside when weather turns. I'd recommend this for overlanders, car campers with dogs, and anyone who's done with crawling into a low dome after a long drive. If you're the person who packs up camp daily and chases trails during the day, this is also a smart alternative to a rooftop tent, because you can leave it pitched and still drive away. There are a few realities to accept. The packed length is a commitment. Roof storage or a truck bed makes life easier. Plan on a small step stool for the fly if you're not tall. Use every guy line when wind is on the menu. And treat the hub system like a mechanical device, not a toy. Don't force it if something is snagged. In conclusion, this tent nails rapid deployment and real livability for vehicle-based camping. It's not an all-weather bunker, and I wouldn't set it on an exposed ridge with a wind advisory. But for most three-season trips, forest roads, desert pullouts with a bit of shelter, family weekends at a state park, it delivers a cabin-like feel without the setup headache. The trade you make is bulk and height for comfort and speed. For me, that's worth it. I can stand to change clothes, cook under cover, and give my dog his own room. If that sounds like your kind of camp life, the T4 Plus Hub Tent Overland Edition fits. I'll leave the details about the Gazelle Tent's T4 Plus Hub Tent Overland Edition in the comments for you to check out. See you in the next video.